and every one of you for being here today. Each one of you was very special to her. Of course, she loved her family, but she loved her wonderful friends. So thank you so much for sharing this day with us. Please know that Sally has been constantly pestering me since her parting to make sure I spread her message loud and clear to all of you. Be happy, celebrate, do not mourn for one more minute. Enough of the sadness, bring out the smiles. She had a fabulous, fun-filled life and has simply been transferred, not by IBM, but this time by G-O-D. Sally was a wonderful, imaginative, feisty, fun mother. We had a great ride together. She also was a very skilled parent and taught 3 Perkins children some very important lessons over the years. She taught us to be compassionate, empathetic, and to care for people in need so that we would not become self-absorbed, shallow, or petty. Snobby? No, that was okay. But I think one of the most important lessons Sally taught me, and one which I may actually think will help every single one of you in this room here today, is this. When you are at a cocktail party or a dinner party and you notice that your drink is empty, simply place the glass on top of your head and it will immediately notify the host that you are in need of another cocktail. Now what a wonderful trick, a great party trick to pass on to your children. So let's raise a toast to Sally Perkins with a kiss and a smile. Goodbye.
It's not easy to follow those acts. We're all gathered here at St. Mark's to celebrate Sally Frost Perkins, and obviously, as you can see, not to mourn it. We miss our mom, who was a friend, a confidant, a builder of character, and a woman with wily imagination. But we feel certain that she's headed into the next move with the same feisty attitude she held throughout 82 years of life. And if there is anyone here that has thought my brother or my sister or I have handled her death with bravado, then you'll understand this is what she taught us to do. There were so many things I could say about her, from being a poet and a journalist, to a painter and an art consultant, from an I've-been housewife, architect and designer, from sarcastically funny to imaginatively delightful. But what came up for me when I sat down at my computer to write a few words was the following phrase: give a man a fish, you have fed him for today. Teach a man to fish, and you have fed him for a lifetime. The author is unknown, but the philosophy was definitely about Sally Frost Perkins, my mom. Mom didn't really like to fish, but she was a teacher, and a very good one. She spent her adult life teaching each of her 3 children how to fish in the streams and the lakes of life. Mom was not June Cleaver, the touchy-feely, nurturing kind of mom who stood by the front door with warm cocoa and home-baked chocolate chip cookies, waiting for Sarah, Chip, and Polly to arrive home after school. But she was the quintessential 1950s mom who sent her eldest daughter, at 5 years old, trudging back to school solo through the snow to find my lost left mitten. She also had her 15-year-old son hire and pay for his own lawyer once he had an unfortunate snowball scuffle with the New Canaan police. I'm afraid Lee Jones might have been implicated in that one too. And she punished Sarah for lighting a match with friends and kept her from a Disney movie opening night when all the other conspirator children were pardoned and allowed to go. She was the kind of mom who moved her children and family 7 times, 7 different states in 12 years, and taught us to see the excitement in each and every move, never letting us feel sorry for ourselves. Of course, that might explain some of the things about the Perkins children. But nevertheless, our childhood lessons were consistent and invaluable, and the Sally Frost Perkins tape recorder never stops playing in our heads to this day. I know some of you, and I saw Kathy Clark out there, and some of my friends, may also have a few of her tutorials playing front and center as you run through your lives. We were all inoculated with Sally's way of thinking, immersed in the idea that there was always someone else who had it worse, suffered much more than us. We were taught that it was our responsibility to think of others, the little boy who was being left out of the gamer tag, or the unpopular new kid who just moved to town. She made it our job to do something about it, or we suffered her wrath, and believe me, the consequences were not pretty. Still, Mom was always teaching us how to bait a hook, cast a line, and she acted as an excellent role model to make sure that the lessons were learned well. Sally lived her high-balloon life with adventure and gaiety, volunteering in each new town where she landed, and being as interested in and respectful of Patty Viscaldi, who was building the stone wall around her Conus Ridge creation, as she was in dining with my father's boss at IBM. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure she preferred talking to Patty over this rock wall and enjoying delicious Italian dinners that he and his wife would cook for Sally and Mo over the years. It was not that Mom was fully altruistic either. During her 57-year teaching career, her motivations were not always so pure. Many times she forced us to learn things and operate independently so that she could have a little time to herself. No enabling with Sally. She was both energetic and imaginative, as well as a little bit lazy. She wondered why get up before 7 on Saturday to give my baby sister the bottle when she could teach her approval-prone eldest child to get the bottle out of the icebox and feed her sister in the crib. I'm not kidding. She knew we kids loved her no matter what she did, so she peppered us with high standards and impossible dreams and got us to take charge of many of her unwanted chores, while simultaneously imbuing us with a life purpose and an understanding of how things work. We developed the self-confidence to handle and adjust to the world around us. She may have piloted the original movie for the Tiger Mom. Another key attribute was she was a problem solver. Sally loved ideas, and using her devilish imagination and street-smart savvy to share her ideas with friends and foe alike, she could tell you how to land a great job, meet a man, make up with a friend, build a house, design a room, handle aging parents, and basically how to run your life. But Sally wasn't going to do it for you. She had zero interest. It was up to you to carry it forward. Sally may have been an idea generator, a friend collaborator, a dream purveyor, but the execution was always up to you. She was a glass is half full type of gal, and once you shared your tale of woe, she would come up with a brilliant strategy to fix it. But only if you wanted to move it forward. And as the eldest of her 3 kids, I know that no one could have been prouder once I had ever accomplished my task. She may have been tough and asked a lot of us, but I also know that most of her friends here, Marilyn, Nancy, Llewellyn, Bobby, Gloria, Lolly, and especially Lolly, had listened to a steady stream of Sally's embellished tales about her amazing Perkins children. And you all, in return, helped me to know that I was on the right track, both in life and with my mom. Pooh, Gloria, Marilyn Jones would gush with almost maternal pride, telling me just what Mom had said, how proud my mother was of my latest accomplishment. It was as if she made you, her friends, the members of the Perkins Children Fan Club, so coming home to New Canaan was always to hear applause. In the area of finance and marriage, her insightful words are forever stenciled on my brain because Sally's response to me as a child, whenever I asked, why are we doing something that our neighbors are doing? We're traveling to an exotic vacation. Why can't I buy stockings at Saks anymore? She'd say, Polly, I raised you to be a good wife to a poor man because I know you'll be a great one to a rich man. She said it over and over again. Little did you know that I was going to wait to 49 years before Maren Eads Johnson to try out her personal marital philosophy. And of course, it should be mentioned, she tried to set me up with Eads junior year in high school. I'm impressive. Sally Frost Perkins was grounded in the kind of God-centered wisdom that children and teenagers abhor and adults are drawn to. Her life goes on because the Sally Frost Perkins tape recorder continues to play in our heads. So today we'd like to celebrate the amazing job she did teaching us all